Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another episode to talk about the Arizona Cardinals. But we got a special one today, ladies and gentlemen. We are going behind the enemy lines, and we're bringing in one of our good buddies that cover the Washington Commanders. And of course, we are going to be playing the Washington Commanders in Week 4. So we're going to try to get to know them as much as we possibly can. But let me give a huge shout out here to the sponsor of the video, BetUS. If you're looking for a brand new sportsbook, BetUS is the way to go. Currently, right now, they are offering 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000, and then on your following two, it's going to be 125% sign-up bonus. So using the promo code BetUS, using promo code YouTube150 is going to go ahead and get you that great deal. So let's go ahead and get started here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and bring up Rio Robinson. What's up, man? How are you doing today?
I am doing amazing, man. We're coming off a momentous Monday night victory, but I'm ready to move forward to Week 4 because I want us to stack some dubs.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, it's actually a shock to me that obviously when we're looking at the NFC East, where you guys play, you're actually the number one, or are you tied with the Eagles?
We're tied, but we have a division win under our belt just like y'all do. We have one against the New York Giants, and I believe we scored the most points in the division right now, so we're sitting up top at number one. I'll take it.
That's absolutely. That's great. No, I mean, it's great to kind of have teams like yourself, right? Your team and then my team here to kind of like, we got a little bit of a come up. So I'm excited about that. Now, obviously, you guys got 2 wins to our 1 win. So I know you guys are going to try to stack up those wins. Let's just dive right into it. There's a lot of questions pertaining to this matchup because obviously Cliff Kingsbury is over there. What are your overall thoughts and what you've seen from him so far in 3 weeks?
First things first, I think Cliff Kingsbury is more at home as just a play caller than a head coach. Like, I don't think that's a guy that wants to be concerned with the injury report, the defensive practice, the special team, putting together a draft board, and talking day to day with an owner and with the front office and stuff like that. I think this is a guy who just wants to come through, crunch tape, develop a rapport and a relationship with his quarterback and call offense. And he's called 2 back-to-back amazing games for Washington. We have not punted the football since week 1. We have 0 turnovers on the season. And you look at the Giants score, you see 21-18. Those were 7 scoring drives. It's just we couldn't punch it into the end zone. We scored on every possession versus the Giants. We scored on every possession versus the Cincinnati Bengals, minus kneel downs to end the game. So when you look at the box score, you will not necessarily see the impact Cliff is having, but wide receivers are running naked open all game, and he's slowly giving Jaden Daniels more leash, and he let him go and let him loose on Monday night.
Wow. I mean, that's good to hear. I don't think a lot of us really had an issue with Cliff Kingsbury as a person. I think he was actually down to earth. It definitely seemed like his relationship with Kyler Murray absolutely soured by the year 4, and it kind of just went downhill. But I've always kind of agreed where I think he was better suited as a guy that was going to be just an OC, not a head coach. It's just there's so much that comes along with being a head coach, all the stress, all the questions you have to answer. So I think you're right there. I mean, you might have a gem in Cliff Kingsbury, but one thing that we do know is that he does start off really good and just kind of starts tailing off. We'll see what happens. I know Jaden Daniels is a completely different player than Kyler Murray, where they got similarities, but obviously taller and can do really good things. So we'll see what happens there. So let's move on to this game, Cardinals versus the Washington Commanders. What do you think is going to happen in this game, or how do you see the best way to attack the Arizona Cardinals?
I see another shootout type game because if there's one thing I know about my football team, we're a very bad defensive football team. I know we got Dan Quinn as the head coach, and him and Joe Witt Jr. are coming over to help improve it, but our personnel is really bad. It's like it doesn't even matter with schematics. Like, our secondary is food. If you have Marvin Harrison Jr. in fantasy and on your parlays this week, hit the overs on everything, because if there's one thing I know about this team, we're going to let your number 1 receiver get whatever he wants because we don't have a corner that can stop him. But attacking the Cardinals, we may be without Austin Eckler this week, but with the quarterback run game, Brian Robinson, and even potential one of our backup running backs like Jeremy McNichols, we got to run on y'all. Y'all are giving up 123 a game on the ground, and we're a top 7 rushing offense in this league. We're rushing for 153 yards a week. it wasn't required on Monday versus the Bengals, but we still put up 3 rushing touchdowns, and they all happened in the first half of the game. So we gotta try to keep the ball out of Kyler Murray's hands and keep it on our offensive side and keep the momentum going. We're not gonna go every week without turning the ball over and without punting the football, but the game plan and the blueprint is the same. Use the running game to open up the passing game. And when we can, we got to take our shots to scary Terry McLaurin. But I like our chances in this one. I think this is going to be a good, fun Sunday afternoon game.
I agree. No, I think this is going to be a really good game, a high scoring event here for the Cardinals and the Washington Commanders. Going to be like ourselves, and we don't really have a defense that scares people. I mean, we show up, every once in a while, but like we don't really have. We have a lot of young talent. I guess that's the best way to describe it. We got a lot of young talent. We got some veterans here and there sprinkled, but we don't have those dominant guys. How is Daron Payne in your defensive line? Because I know Daron, is he not showing up very much this year? Talk to me.
Daron Payne and Jonathan Allen, who we call our Alabama Wall, they are counting $45 million against the cap right now, and we're getting absolutely no production from either one of them, and fans excuse it. Oh, they're getting doubled and triple teamed every week. What that means is they're not doing anything, and fans are fighting for their lives trying to excuse it. We drafted Jerzon Johnny Newton in the second round, and it looks very clear why we drafted Johnny Newton in the round, because one of those guys is going to be expendable. I think we might trade Jonathan Allen before the deadline. They're getting like a tackle a week right now, no pressure.
Wow.
They've had a couple opportunities to get sacks and tackles for loss. They're missing tackles. Jonathan Allen looks out of shape. We need them to be the heartbeat of the defense like it was written for it to be. Everybody, when they looks at Washington, and from a big picture scale, they look at Jonathan Allen and Payne, they have the name brand recognition, and they say, wow, Washington has a defensive front. They have a very dominant defensive front. No, we don't. We don't have a dominant defensive front. Since Payne got that contract, he's been Casper the Friendly Ghost on a lot of Sundays. We're still waiting on Allen and Payne to arrive in the 2024 season 4 weeks in.
Wow, that's actually kind of interesting because you're right. I mean, when I'm looking at the depth chart, I see guys like Jonathan Allen, Daron Payne, and I'm like, oh, they have a pretty good, defensive line. But that's kind of good
paper.
to know.
On paper.
Gotcha. Okay, what happened to, because I also have Scary Terry McLaurin in a couple of my fantasy leagues. He went off this last week. What do you think happened? What was the difference? You think Jaden Daniels just got more comfortable, toting the rock down the field? The connection seems to get better. What's the difference between the first 2 weeks and the last week?
I think we've been slow cooking the chicken with Jaden Daniels. They're not trying to. The game moves so fast for a rookie quarterback, and they weren't trying to do what Eric Bieniemy did to Sam Howell last year and have him throwing for 50 attempts a week, like Caleb Williams is doing in Chicago, but that's none of my business. But they are we missed a couple opportunities early. Week 1 to start the second half versus Tampa, Terry had a 70-yard touchdown. Jaden outthrew him by 1.5 yards. Week 2, we pretty much used Terry as a decoy a lot, threw him a bunch of horizontal screen passes, and we missed him a couple times. Jaden's been under constant pressure. He's been one of the most rushed quarterbacks in the league through 3 weeks, but we were able to find effectiveness Monday because we had such a balanced attack. Cliff knew just how to attack this defense, and we took our opportunities. Like Terry told Jaden on the sideline, if you see me one-on-one on third down, just throw it. Throw it up. I'm going to go get it. I think that connection has finally arrived in 2024. This is a rookie quarterback. I keep trying to tell people, give him time. And he looks clearly better than the rest of his class right now. He's just getting started, but I think Terry's going to be a much bigger part of our offense going forward.
Yeah, definitely, no doubt. I think a lot of eyes are on obviously a lot of the rookie quarterbacks that was picked up in the first round. The two, obviously, Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels. Do you find yourself comparing the two? Obviously, I think Caleb Williams is always going to go number 1, but do you find yourself comparing them to in terms of just I guess the rest of the NFL season, or is that what you're going to do? Just kind of being like, who's better?
Oh, yeah, we're always going to juxtapose when it comes to rookie quarterback. Caleb's a DC boy, too. He's a DMV guy, so we're always going to be paying attention. Bo Nix as well. Drake May when he eventually gets a start, and Michael Penix. We're always going to compare the entire QB class because that's what we do. Look at the 2018 class, all going crazy in the league right now. Everybody except the guy y'all drafted, Josh Rosen.
Don't
But
remind me.
but yeah, we're always going to compare them. And we get to see that matchup in person in DC a few weeks from now when Chicago comes to Washington. But so far, our guy looks leaps and bounds more prepared than all of those guys. And that's considering Caleb has so much more to offer weapons wise. And now everybody's switching up because Jaden had a good game in front of the world on Monday night. All of a sudden, maybe Jaden's in a better situation than Caleb. No, he's not. The
Right.
Chicago Bears have a much better roster. He has more weapons. They have, on paper, a more proven offensive line. Our OC is just more effective than Shane Waldron right now, and our quarterback is a little bit more prepared to do this right now than Caleb. So don't switch up now.
Wow. Well, what about your O line? How do you feel about your offensive line? You feel like it's pretty good? I know you said he
It's
was
been
pressured.
solid.
Yeah.
It's been solid. See, most of the pressure he's been under the first 3 weeks have been extra rushers. He's seen more
Mm,
extra rushers and blitzes than any quarterback in the league through 3 weeks. And for the first couple games of the season, the Giants game and the Bucks game, we haven't really known where the blitzes were coming from. Some of that goes to the rookie quarterback not knowing which way to shift the line, not
sure.
knowing which blitz pick up the call. But we played amazing on Monday. They did an excellent job on Trey Hendrickson, who's one of the best edge rushers in the league. Our rookie, we haven't fully given him the full-time left tackle gig, but as far as he's been playing so far, he's a dog. Our rookie third-round pick, Brandon Coleman, that's looking like that's going to be your stalwart left tackle. He looks really good. They protected Jaden very well. In the interior of the line, Nick Allegretti, who we got over from Kansas City, Sam Cosmi, and Tyler Biotish, the center we got over from Dallas, they're nasty. And they're opening holes for running backs, and they're giving Jaden Daniels time to sit and pick defenses apart from the pocket. I like it. And Bobby Johnson got a bad rep coming over to be our offensive line coach from the Giants, but so far it looks like the development is going a lot better than it went with Evan Neal and those boys in New York.
Wow. So a lot more confidence in the offense than the defense. On paper, you're right. I feel like it would have been the opposite.
Significantly. Mm-hmm.
What is so his weapons? You're right. I think Caleb Williams does have better weapons. I'm not. It's not just no disrespect to Scary Terry. I think he's one of the good
No,
wide
he has
receivers. But in terms of like the amount of weapons that Caleb Williams
mm-hmm.
has compared to Jan Downs, I do agree with you. What are the other
Mm-hmm.
weapons if Eckler does not go? Obviously, you guys is running back, Scary Terry. Who are the other guys?
Yep. So we got Scary Terry as the receiver, and we got Brian Robinson. We're getting a little bit of the turn back the clock version of of Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz
Oh,
is one of our vocal locker room leaders, someone y'all know very well.
yep.
Cliff Kingsbury brought him over to shepherd over the language of the offense. And he has been a captain, a leader, a dog, and he loves the quarterback. He speaks so glowingly about Jaden Daniels. Zach Ertz has been really good. We haven't been able to see much from our second round tight end, Ben Sinnott from Kansas State yet, but he made a couple good blocks, and they're slowly working him into the offense. Christian McCaffrey's little brother, Luke McCaffrey. That's our wide receiver too right now. He's our third round rookie. He's starting. He made some plays this season so far. First drive of the game on Monday night, we had a 4th-and-2 conversion to Luke, where Luke McCaffrey took it all the way until about the 2-yard line. He should have 2 or 3 touchdowns this year. He's been stopped inside the 3-yard line twice this season. Once at the 1, once at the 2. So he almost had his first touchdown a couple times. Other than that, at the receiver position, we picked up Noah Brown, a veteran journeyman receiver, and he's been lights out for us. He made the biggest catches that took us on our game-winning drive versus the Giants in week 2. And in week 3, he made some big catches as well. Also, just like Terry and Luke, he had a catch stopped inside of the 1-yard line. So when you look at Jaden Daniels, who has 3 rushing touchdowns, and he got his first 2 passing touchdowns on Sunday, he's had 5 instances where receivers were stopped inside the 4-yard line and just shy of the end zone. So what looks like 5 touchdowns could be like 5 passing touchdowns to 2 or 3 rushing touchdowns. So the box score doesn't always tell the full truth, and we need Eckler back because our backfield is what's really leading this offense.
Right.
Jaden's ability to run combined with Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler giving such offsetting skill sets. our run game is a monster right now.
Wow. Okay, two more for you. Two more questions. Just because the
Yeah,
the the
let's
the
go.
thought of Cliff Kingsbury coming back to the desert. I know it's still pretty early in the week, but has there been
Mhm.
any media chatter, any questions pertaining to coming back to the desert from Cliff Kingsbury? Talking to the media, has he said anything about the Cardinals? I want to get a little insight.
It's gonna start. No, it's no problem. It's gonna start today because we had the shorter week. We're coming off of Monday Night Football, so we're doing something a little bit unique. Instead of going back to Virginia to go get a couple practices in and do our usual travel day on Friday or Saturday afternoon, we're in Arizona. We are practicing at Arizona State all week. We are going to Arizona, everybody except Austin Eckler, who went back to Ashburn to go see an independent neurologist and doctors for his ear laceration and his concussion. But they're gonna bombard Cliff Kingsbury with questions about Kyler Murray. You know they're gonna do it because this is a big deal. You
Yeah.
know ASMR voice Cliff, cool, calm, collective, cool breeze Cliff. He's gonna make a big deal about it. He's gonna, I'm just focused on the task at hand, and
Yeah.
I just want to see the offense execute. And I got a young quarterback to develop. He's gonna say nice things about Kyler. That relationship eventually soured. I will say that this is not a dig at Tyler. I love K1. I love Kyler Murray, love his skill set. He's a little bit shorter than I like my quarterbacks, but he's an absolute dog, and he has a rocket right arm to compensate for his height. But I think Jaden and Cliff are going to have an easier time because they're closer to a personality match. Cliff Kingsbury and Jaden are cool breeze guys. They both have that California cool breeze personality. Kyler Murray's a different type of cat.
Yes.
Kyler Murray's a different type of cat. He's vocal on another level, and he's not the type of guy a lot of people will understand truly. He's one of those dudes. And I don't think we're going to run into that problem with Jaden Daniels. And I think the one thing people don't, that people fail to mention is that your offense does not have to be as creative to open up passing lanes for a 6'4 quarterback in comparison to a 5'10, 5'9, whatever height
Yeah.
Kyler Murray is with cleats on. But you know Cliff is going to be bombarded with Arizona
Oh
questions.
yeah.
And I know deep down he's going to be like, I need this one, y'all. We gotta win this one, y'all. I need this one's personal. Let's go. Revenge game, baby. I need it.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like, and I think that's one of the most fascinating things because let's call it like it is. I mean, I know a lot of people like to downplay it, and I'm talking about the direct people, right? Your Cliff Kingsbury, your Kyler Murray, they're going to downplay it, but I know deep down they want this, and I'm pretty sure Kyler Murray feels the same way. He's going to want to come in here,
Mm-hmm.
especially because it's at home. He's going to want to light it up as well. So I'm so curious to figure out who's going to have the upper hand. But man, we'll get it. We're going to get into the predictions right now in a little bit, but. I can't imagine a world where the Cardinals fan base will be okay with the Cardinals losing to a Cliff Kingsbury. Now, obviously, we're not the ones battling out the Reds could be the Arizona Cardinals, but I can just
Mm-hmm.
imagine just the explosions of anger that comes along with it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's get on to over to the prediction. What do you think is going to happen in this game? Give me your best prediction this coming Sunday.
I know. I've been paying attention. I've been watching your Arizona Cardinals content creators. I've been watching y'all media guys. Y'all think y'all got a layup on Sunday. I
We
think
do.
y'all got a gimme game on Sunday. I think y'all need to go look at that Washington Commanders offense a little bit closer because the last 2 weeks we've been the most efficient offense in the entire NFL. So I think we got a little bit more for y'all to chew on when y'all take a little closer look at the tape. I'm expecting both teams to be in the 20s. I'm expecting whatever defense is going to be more opportunistic. If someone's going to force a turnover, that can tell the tale of the tape for this game. We have, with a rookie quarterback, we have not turned the ball over one time in 2024. 0 times. We haven't lost the fumble. We haven't thrown an interception. Jaden Daniels has maybe thrown one interceptable pass in 2024. So if we could somehow get our hands on a Kyler Murray interception, or if we can knock the ball out, I believe they made him fumble when y'all played Detroit on Sunday. Whatever defense can make a play late in the game will probably have the advantage because I see both offenses being effective. I'm going 1 point game here, and I'm
Wow.
picking my boys on Sunday. I'm going 27-26. That's a wacky number, by the way, but this is a wacky, weird high parity football season. And I think y'all are a little bit ahead of us as far as trajectory, but I think these are two teams in similar statures right now. Y'all are in year 2 of Jonathan Gannon. We're in year 1 of Dan Quinn. But the quarterback is the deal. Y'all have an established quarterback. Y'all have a bona fide first round receiver on the outside. Harrison's going to get his. Kyler's going to get his, but you can't let him go crazy with his legs because I still think about what he did to us back in 2020. But I'm going Washington 27-26, 3-1, and we're going to sit atop the NFC East for another week. And Washington's going to start talking. Fans are going to start talking crazy going into week 5.
I love it. Well, I don't expect anything different, Real. Appreciate you for jumping on. A lot of great insight. Thank you so very much for jumping on. We're going to be closing up shop. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We will be having Rio's YouTube channel tagged in the description below. So if you want to go and show him some love, he does a great job with Washington Commanders content over there. So definitely go and show him some love. All right, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Have a great rest of your day, and go Cardinals.